Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing the first episode, Unexplored, Lost, and Unsolved. And we're going to be talking about a missing persons case, Lauren Ashley Willhoit. And we're going to be speaking with her sister, Michelle, this afternoon. We need to share this as much as possible, put the information out as much as possible, because doing this is going to help in the best way that it can. So I want to introduce Michelle. I want to thank her for taking the time out to join us this afternoon and to talk about this and to spread the word about this. So I'll go ahead and introduce her. Good evening, Michelle. How are you? Cassie, are you there? Oh, Cassie? Oh, she must have dropped out. Good evening, or afternoon, sorry. I'm so used to doing a night show. Apologize. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. First, I want to say our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I can't even imagine what you're going through, but I just want to let you know that we want to be there, and we will do everything that we can over here on the show to try and spread the word about your sister.
Thank you.
So if you can do me a favor, and if you can introduce yourself and the missing person case when it comes to your sister Lauren.
Yeah, so Lauren, she's my sister. She's about 8 years younger than me. We grew up in a suburb of Chicago. She was living with her boyfriend in unincorporated Melrose Park, Illinois. And shortly before New Year's Eve, she got a text message at her apartment, and according to the boyfriend, the text message said room 300 or something like that. I forget exactly which number it was, but it didn't have the exact hotel. But so she left the house in Melrose Park, walked to a gas station, took an Uber from there to what we now know, and we didn't know for, I think it was a good 3 weeks. It was the Best Western, located in Franklin Park off of Mannheim Road. And she was there supposedly for 2 nights. And the room was rented by a person that we're going to call Casey. And he rented the room on the 29th, and then they checked out, or only rented it until the 31st. We don't know for sure that she went there, other than when I was able to finally get into her iCloud. I saw the last pictures that she took, and it was selfies right in front of the Best Western, the one that you can see on the map. So I don't know for sure that she was in the hotel, that she was there for those 2 nights, but that was the last thing we heard from her. Haven't seen her, heard from her since. No movements on the bank account that she has. I'm in all of her social media. She has not been in or checked or spoken to anyone. No one has seen or heard from her.
Okay, and this Best Western. Okay, and if you can see the screen, this is Rosemont?
Yeah.
Is that the correct one?
No.
No?
No. Here, I can get you the address.
Yeah, I got it to work.
Let's see here. Oh, what's up, Cassie? Let's see. Best Western O'Hare?
Yes.
Oh, this is Higgins. Higgins?
Yeah, no, this one's the one on Mannheim.
Mannheim. Okay. Let me see.
It's 3001 Mannheim Road, Mannheim.
Oh, crap. Oh, okay. Here we go.
That one. Yep.
Best Western plus O'Hare International South Hotel. Okay, so right here is the location here. So by Grand Avenue and Franklin Park, between Belmont and Grand Avenue. Okay. And so you said that her boyfriend had retrieved her phone and it said room 300 on it?
Yes. And it didn't say which hotel or anything, so we had been kind of scouting and scouring and going to different hotels and motels along Mannheim, trying to figure out which one it was for the first couple weeks. And it wasn't until, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later that I finally got into her iCloud and saw the picture in front of that hotel with the sign in the background.
With the sign in the front. Okay. And so that's the last location. And so she just left after he gave her the phone back or something, and then she just left. And
yeah, she grabbed it back from him, yelled, got angry, whatever, left the house. And he tried following her, and then she saw that he was, and she yelled at him, and he retreated back to their house as she was heading to the gas station just up the road, and then took an Uber there, took a couple selfies out in front, and that was the last known spotting at all. And that was on the 29th.
Okay.
And that's why, so if you kind of look and see like news articles, different posts, things like that, there's different dates because we don't know for sure. According to the boyfriend, she left the house on the 29th to go to this room. And that was that last picture that she took on the 29th.
So there's
29th,
one of the
that
pictures.
room was checked out on the 31st, so that's why we think maybe the 31st was the last time.
And this is another one she took right in front.
Yeah.
So she wasn't seen around the Indianapolis area that people thought, right?
So that I don't totally know. There was another gentleman that I was talking to through Lauren's Snapchat. Because she would get messages occasionally, so I just reach out and I'm like, hey, no, it's not Lauren. We don't know if she's okay. And this one gentleman, he reached out and was like, well, let me see what I can figure out. I'll see, put the word out there, see if something comes of it. And this guy found someone, or someone told him that they spotted her in Indianapolis. And that was I think it was in March. So I went down to Indianapolis myself to look for her, had a couple people come with and help. And I did stop. There was one motel that I stopped at, and the night manager there swore up and down that she was there, but I never heard anything back from him. I showed him that flyer that's up right now, and he was staring at her face, asked me what her name was, and I pointed to the name on the flyer, and he's like, well, I mean, the name doesn't sound familiar, but her face, I'm pretty sure she was here at the beginning of the week. And then nothing ever came from it. So no idea if it was true, whether she was there or not. KC, the guy that rented the Best Western room, is from Indiana. So I guess there could be a possibility that she could be in Indiana somewhere. I just don't know.
So he rented he rent, and you can see this sign right here, this Best Western Plus sign right here. Let me go back to that one picture I had up first. You can actually see. Here, let me zoom in a little bit more. You can actually see that Best Western sign right there. So, and is there like a timestamp with the photos?
She
Just
posted it on Snapchat. I want to say it was in the morning, like 9:27 or something in the
okay.
morning. Let me see if I can get into
So
that.
that really shows that she was actually at that location, room
Yes.
300. And then you said this gentleman, KC, is confirmed to have rented room 300 at this Best Western Plus.
Yes. When I finally found that photo leading me to discover that hotel, I informed the lead detective, Detective Tuzum with Cook County Sheriff's, about it. So he went there straight away and talked with them. They were able to give him a print off of the rooms and who rented them.
Okay. And so so what's their connection? Is there, like, was he a friend from out of town? He lived in Indiana, or lives in Indiana.
Yes. So I don't totally know their connection. I know, they're friends. They've been friends for a while, just from pictures and screenshots that she took of conversations of theirs in her
Okay.
iCloud. So I know that they've at least known each other for a year, if not a little bit more. According to Lauren's boyfriend, he may have been friends with another guy that Lauren was friends with a long time ago who's now passed on. So I don't know for sure if he is friends with that guy or not, and that's how Lauren knows him. And if that's the case, then she's known this guy, KC, for, I don't know, 10 years.
Okay. So they're friends.
Yeah.
And okay. So he rented the room from the 28th to the 31st?
29th to the 31st, yes.
29th to the 31st?
Yes. The last time I talked to Lauren was on the 28th.
Okay. And the last time the boyfriend had talked to her was also the 28th?
Yes. He said he had tried calling that room. Well, he tried calling her cell phone and she never picked it up. That her cell phone ended up dying or being turned off and never turned back on January 3rd or 4th. But he tried calling that room on all 3 days that she was there and nobody ever answered.
Oh, wow. Huh.
She's never just like up and disappeared before, has she?
No, never. I would talk to her at least once or twice a month. My parents talk to her at least once a week, if not more. This is by far the longest she's ever gone without talking to any of us.
Yeah, since New Year's Eve, I mean.
Yeah, we're going on months now.
So, when it comes to, like, you said they got into a disagreement prior to her leaving the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Is that typical when they would get in arguments where they wouldn't talk to each other for a couple days or something? Or
Yes. I guess there has been times where Lauren would leave for a couple days at a time and then just come back to the apartment, which was why he said it took him so long to get in contact with me, because he didn't reach out to me until I think it was January 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. I think it was the 5th. He messaged me via Facebook asking if I had heard from her, talked to her, or when the last time. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me look and, look through my phone. It was the 28th. And he's like, well, I haven't heard from her in a few days and I'm starting to get worried. And that's when we, started talking and trying to figure out what happened, where she could have went, things like that. And a few days later, we finally filed a police report with the Cook County Sheriff's. And he's the one that called the cops and had them come to their apartment. He, gave them all the information that he had. He had an outstanding warrant, so he is currently incarcerated.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, and he knew that going into it. And that's, I had told him that I would call in the missing persons report. And he's like, no, I was the last one to see her. I should call. And so he did.
And what was the date he finally called?
I believe it was the 7th or the 8th.
So
I mean, already then we're
a week and a half?
Almost
a week and a half.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, when Detective Tuzum went to that Best Western, that hotel specifically only keeps their footage for 5 to 7 days. So it was long gone.
Wow.
And none of the businesses around had anything either. So she literally just vanished.
Houses around that would have potentially had like Ring cameras or anything?
No, there's no home. Well, there's a few homes, but the ones that do, there's a park on the backside and an alley, and then it's their garages. So there's no homes or houses that even point in that direction.
Right.
Other than the businesses, no.
Yeah, you're looking at.
Wow.
And it's such a shady area too that there's probably not a lot of cameras.
Big,
but there's not much.
Right.
It doesn't look like it would be very well lit either until you got to like AutoZone.
Right.
Yeah. SRB's asking Michelle, do you know why she left her boyfriend to go to this hotel that day?
I'm not sure. It could have just been they got into a little tiff and, she called her buddy KC. And maybe he just over the phone rented the room and, just to give her a place to go for a couple days. I honestly don't know. And at this point, as I said, the boyfriend's incarcerated, so I can't really talk.
Have you talked to the guy?
No, I don't know him. So I have not reached out. I know the police have tried a few times to get in contact with him, and they just have not been able to locate him.
Oh.
Have not been able to locate him.
Nope.
Huh, that's interesting. So he's a friend, but haven't been able to. Have they talked to the boyfriend more? Or like what's Ellie when it comes to the boyfriend? What's their...
I'm not totally sure. They're kind of tight-lipped on it as it is still an ongoing investigation. So I'm not totally sure. I would assume they've talked to him numerous times. But I have not been informed of, who main or lead suspects are. I'm assuming, as most people probably will, the boyfriend I'm sure is high on the list because it's the boyfriend and he was the last one to see her.
Right.
But I'm also hoping that this KC guy is a suspect because the room right up,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And he hasn't reached out to you like the boyfriend did? No?
The boyfriend has, yeah. I've gotten like a couple emails from him when he was in one of the county jails before he got sentenced. He called me a few times, still very, very concerned. And, that's all the conversation ever is. Have you heard anything? What are the detectives saying? Like, what's going on? And he was making phone calls to, different friends that he could remember numbers of, and nobody had ever heard anything.
So he just kind of disappeared like she did?
Who, KC?
Yeah.
Well, so from what I've gathered of this Casey, I've never met him. I didn't even know he was a thing until the boyfriend talked to me about him. And this was before he got picked up on the warrant, was that this KC guy had come up to their house in Illinois and was threatening Lauren over some stolen postal checks that were his, KC's. And so the boyfriend doesn't like this KC guy.
Okay.
And because of those threats, and then finding out he was the one that rented that room, that's what makes me feel that it would be more him as a person of interest, you could say.
Okay. Right. So let me see, Casey. Well, Casey apparently, because he confronted the boyfriend when he drove up, Casey confronted the boyfriend, or the boyfriend and your sister, or just the boyfriend?
Just the boyfriend.
Just the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, so Casey does know the boyfriend.
Yes.
What was the boyfriend incarcerated for?
I think it was like possession charges or something like that. Drug.
Okay, just drug charges, nothing. Yeah. Okay.
No, nothing nefarious, just drugs.
So he was angry with her.
KC was, because
But
Lauren
she
had
went.
stolen some checks. One of the
But she
last
went
times they
to
were
him.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was all like right around December 20th, so just before Christmas. And then we're looking 2 weeks later, KC rents a room where Lauren is supposedly going, and then no one's seen or heard from her.
And they haven't been able to even get a hold of him for any kind of questioning, so they don't even know if he has an alibi, if he was at home, if in fact he was at the hotel room.
Correct.
Or like you said, somebody could have even rented the room, because do you know if they were in an argument before the room 300 or no?
No, I do not know.
Let me see. I'm just going through some other questions here. And so nobody knows if this KC is around anymore or not.
No, I know the latest I heard on him from the lead detective was that he had a job and he is no longer employed by them. He had gone there trying to get in touch with them and no longer works there.
It almost makes you wonder if he left the state or something.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds very suspicious that,
Yeah, it does.
if especially since he's his name is tied to room 300.
Right.
You would think that you would try and reach out, not have to be reached out to, when it comes to trying to help with some information.
You would think.
So you said that he had messaged the boyfriend?
Yes, text messaged.
When was he messaging the boyfriend, and what were those messages pertaining to?
Yeah, that was right before Christmas. I think it was December 20th. And that had to do with stolen postal checks that my sister, I guess, stole from KC prior to December 20th. And I mean, I'll go ahead and read the text message. KC sent to my sister's boyfriend, "You might advise Lauren to get on the phone to me. Or not. If she still has what she took from me, she may save herself." Or not.
She may save herself?
Yes, she may save herself.
That's very... Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Very suspicious. Yeah, that's pretty scary too. And that was when? The 20th?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when it was. Yes. December 20th.
So do you know if he actually got those back before the hotel was rented?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's So those were the messages to, and did the boyfriend ever try to reach out to this Casey through the same message feed?
In hindsight, these are all questions I should have asked before he got incarcerated, the boyfriend.
Right,
Of course, my brain at that point was just completely scattered.
right.
That was one thing I never did ask. So I don't know.
Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna cycle through some of these here. So
And
he says,
I'm looking at Honeybee. The postal check's been cashed or tracked. I'm not sure. I gave all that information to the detectives. I would assume I hope that they've tried working that angle, but not sure.
Well, usually with those checks, those are the cashier's checks, right?
Yeah, our postal checks was what he was saying, or someone said that that's what they were. I don't know. I don't even know what a postal check is.
My husband
Just
and I
a
actually used to use those to pay our old landlord.
yeah,
But when
just
we
regular
would go,
money order.
or when we would go to cash them, if we got them from somebody else, we always had to show our ID.
Okay.
I did. I've gotten some maybe a couple months ago, and I just had to swipe my debit card and put my
Wow,
PIN
maybe
number
it's
in,
changed. It's been a long time
yeah,
since I've had to.
and they just printed it out. Um, and the pictures, there was one for 800 and one for 600, but probably don't even know the amount of the one that was cashed. But there was two of them. So there was a picture of two of the money orders. I wonder if she was meeting him to bring him the other two.
Yeah, could very well have been.
But that message right there,
Mhm.
That's
and right, and this was 9 days before the Best Western visit.
Yep.
Were these before or after he showed up to the house? Do you know that?
That I don't know.
Okay. And this is the message between Casey and the boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty alarming. And so they've tried to contact him 3 times,
Yes.
and
So
each time unsuccessful.
Jasper County, which is the county that KC lives in, I went down to, and this was, God, this was in January, I believe. I went down to their county sheriff's office just to kind of ask around, hand out my sister's flyer, see if they could kind of post it and keep a lookout just in case she happened to be with him. So that sheriff he did make contact with him in January at the very beginning, but
Oh, really?
he only talked to him for about a minute and a half. Asked him if he knew who she was. He said yes. Said, when was the last time you saw her? And he said, oh, I don't know. I think it was the beginning of December. And then asked, do you know where she is? And he said no. And they go, okay, thank you for your time. And that was it. And no one's been able to get in touch with him since.
What? Wow.
Yep.
And here's a picture with the timestamp,
Yes.
the actual timestamp right here. December 29th. We saw the picture where it's got the Best Western sign. That's the one we were looking at. And this actually has the timestamp right here at that location.
So I was off by about 30 minutes. Pretty good memory, though, I guess.
Right there. Yeah, right there. this location right here.
Yeah.
So they actually did talk to him for a second, and he said, "Oh, the last time I seen her was at the beginning of December."
Yeah. So
They
either
didn't-
straight up
They didn't
lie.
question him about the hotel room at that point?
No, because at that point that the Jasper County Sheriff went and talked to him, we didn't know that he rented the room there.
Oh, gotcha.
Find out. I didn't get into her iCloud until after they had already went and talked to him. Or else I'm sure the conversation would have been a little bit different, I would hope.
That's why I asked, because I'm like, a minute and a half conversation.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping it would have been different. But yeah, as far as I know, they've never been able to contact him since then.
I'm just showing some of the messages here. And then he's stating, if I get the other two back, I'll drop it.
Yeah, so very well, I guess they could have been meeting there for her to hand over the other two.
Right. Oh, this is a good picture to share too. This is a very distinctive tattoo. And let me see. I did see another picture where it shows where it's located.
That's on her hip.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, my pictures are they're all over here. 1 second.
She has a heart below her left eye, right?
Yes. And it's just the outline, not
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought I had that picture. So it's above the right, hip in the front.
Yes.
The tattoo. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share that tattoo again. Very distinctive. So it looks like she's using. That's it looks like maybe her left thumb. That would be showing her right above her right hip. Ellie should be able to track him through the checks or related information. When it comes to the money orders, I'm not even sure how the money order stuff works, honestly. I mean, if I can walk in, and I never even thought about it until you even mentioned something, Cassie, about having to use your ID, because I never even thought about it whenever I walked in to get some. I just literally have to swipe my card and that's it. No, there's no names involved or nothing. You could even put a fake.
I mean, it's been since 2017, maybe, that I've used one of those.
So you could even put a fake name on them. So I don't even know how that tracking would not, I don't know if that, I guess they could track it. I don't know. You could pay with cash and get a money order. I don't even think you need to show ID if you're paying cash. Yeah, there's two out of 3 money orders. And when I'm looking through these text messages, they seem very. So, I don't know. The messages just are.
They're a little alarming.
Yeah. Here's another one. So this is to the boyfriend still. So this continues into the 21st as well. And so when do you know when the last time they tried to reach out to this KC individual?
The lead detective, about a couple weeks ago, I guess KC has had some newer run-ins with the law. So he's got some court dates coming up and they're hoping to be able to make contact at those. but I have not heard yet if they have or not.
And the boyfriend doesn't know because she wouldn't even admit to him that she knew this individual? Or did it kind of come out in the open when this person showed up?
I'm not exactly sure on that relationship and how or when Mike discovered the boyfriend discovered the KC guy or what. Like, I not totally sure. The only thing that I do know was I was told about the threats prior to Christmas, and then finding that connection to the hotel and him renting the room.
Let me see here. And let me see. So these are even more messages. So was he threatening the boyfriend for him to give him money or something?
I feel like they have spoken before, the two of them,
Okay.
especially, if they're texting each other like this, that they knew of each other.
Huh.
At a minimum. I don't know if they had met prior or, maybe they were friends. I don't know.
And then he's basically, this is the most alarming one out of all of them, though.
Yeah.
She may save herself or not get fucked.
Yeah. Don't like that one.
Mm-mm.
And so I'm wondering, how does he disappear too?
No idea.
Were you able to find out his full name?
I do know it. Yes.
You do?
I would be doing some deep stalking on Facebook and being like, hey.
Oh, I have. I've been doing my own web sleuthing. Yes. But, just I don't know where the detectives are taking it, so I don't want to throw rocks at it and hurt their investigation into it.
Right. If they're getting close on something.
Yeah.
Do they stay in contact with you often, or how's your relationship with them?
They do as often as they can. They are Cook County sheriffs, which encompasses Chicago and all the surrounding suburbs. So they are getting pulled often from her case onto other things like homicides that are every day, multiple times a day in Chicago.
Right. Yeah, especially.
But I feel like they are really working the case, and I've been pretty happy with I guess not their progress. I'm not happy with their progress because the progress is really nowhere that I see.
Right.
But I do feel that they are actually working it.
Punksy, they might have known each other previously, but it sounds like through some of the text messages, it sounds like they didn't know of each other as much, but they're around when the text messages where we see, she can save herself. That was 9 days before the 29th of when we saw the last picture. And so if he showed up threatening the boyfriend at their house in Illinois, if they didn't know each other before, then they knew each other then. But it's hard to say like how well they knew each other, because maybe they did know each other before, know of each other. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Let me see. Threats and federal offense. Well, the thing is they can't find him. They've reached out to contact. There's you can't break down somebody's door. If somebody isn't there, or if somebody simply doesn't want to answer, it's not like they can just break down the door.
Right. And from what I understand is all of this is all just circumstantial, right? So there is no positive proof that Casey was even at that hotel with my sister. There's no proof that she was even inside that hotel. She could have just taken the picture outside and left.
Right.
So there's no extenuating circumstances that could really even get them to get a search warrant for his house or, anything.
Mm-hmm. Right. And unfortunately there's no footage of an entrance or an exit or a hallway or any of that.
Nothing.
And that's why this needs to be shared as much as possible. Just the information, the photos, the locations, maybe somebody on YouTube will come across this that's wanting to check something out, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I was at that Best Western on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That would be an easy date to remember.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what's going to help with the lack of footage. That's where the disadvantage is when it comes to this. So this needs to be shared as much as possible. I do have a news clip from NBC5 when you were on there. Is that something you would like me to play?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any other questions, Cassie?
Sorry. Background noise. I muted for a second because I heard Liberty squawk. Does anybody know for sure if Casey was the one who rented the rooms?
Other than what the records from the hotel, no.
Nothing.
Don't know if he was actually there or who checked in or anything. No.
Literally just ghosted. Both of them.
Yep.
Oh, that's so stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I don't know if he necessarily stole them, Honeybee. It's alleged or claimed that she stole them from him. Now, if you're talking about using that to get a warrant, it would have to have been him stealing the checks, not her. With the text messages, I mean, you know this. If you're trying to go get a restraining order, that's not even enough to get a restraining order, those text messages. So I would just assume it's a little harder than that to get a warrant. I'm sure they're doing everything that they can. The unfortunate thing is the lack of footage. I think if there would have been footage available, I think there would have been a lot more things that would have been an opportunity when it comes to the LE side. And if they don't know where Casey is, what are they supposed to do?
Right.
And maybe, Honeybee, that might be true, because that could be a possibility as well. But the LE have to deal with for sures. And so that's why we need to share this as much as possible, because any kind of information there's a whole bunch of phone numbers at the bottom. There's a website anybody can contact if they do have any information, because you never know, that little bit of information could be the break in the case. And it could be information, that somebody that doesn't even know that they're Casey and they heard Casey talking.
Right.
You know, it could be anything. So they're working with what they have, and that's where everybody else needs to step up and kind of put this out there, because that's where the break's going to come from. It's going to come from somebody out there. All right, I'm going to play this little clip. So this was when did you do this with Chicago 5 NBC?
I think that was just last Friday.
Last Friday? Okay. Check this out real quick.
Not giving up in the search for her little sister.
She disappeared 4 months ago from suburban Leiden Township. NBC5's Regina Waldrop talked to friends and family who are worried but hopeful.
There are few clues surrounding her sister's disappearance.
No idea what happened, circumstances, nothing. No one's seen her.
4 months ago, 30-year-old Lauren Willhoit vanished.
I just don't know. You know, she could be being trafficked for all we know, which is why it's so hard to find her.
Lauren was last seen leaving this hotel in Leiden Township on New Year's Eve. Now her family says her phone goes to voicemail and there's been no activity on her bank account.
I got into social media, all of them. I got into her email accounts, even her iCloud. Nothing.
It was Lauren's boyfriend who first reported her missing.
He called me, I think like 3 days after he had last heard from her.
Family and friends have sifted through tips, led search parties, and canvassed the area where Lauren went missing. Susan Julie is with Missing Women of America. Her group is helping in the search.
A few tips came in. We had one lookalike girl. Elmhurst police went and checked it out, wound up not being the girl, but they moved on it immediately.
Jeff Taychuk is a close friend of Lauren's.
If we can get her home, that would be absolutely amazing. You know, I feel that she's still out there, and I feel that, you know, we will bring her home.
Michelle says her mission now, make sure her sister's case doesn't become a cold one.
Keep posting and posting and posting her missing flyers. We'll find her unharmed, whole.
Reporting from Leiden Township, I'm Regina Waldrop.
Yes, prayers for that, for sure.
No kidding.
And let me put that flyer back up. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. What do you think? What do you feel in your heart? What do you feel? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
what's your gut tell you?
The longer it goes, the darker my thoughts get, I guess, right?
No,
You know?
I mean, as in, who knows the answers? Because it's like you said on that news clip, that we talk about a lot of true crime stuff, and there's a lot of stuff where this sex trafficking, kidnapping and trafficking is taking place too.
And the area, the area that she went missing from, there's tons of that. It's all the strip clubs, and these aren't just like you walk in and you can only hand money to these girls. This is you can pay and take them to the back room type of strip clubs.
Right.
There's prostitute or sex workers that are out everywhere, drugs, everything. So, it very well could be a possibility that someone, crime of opportunity, saw her walking down the road and picked her up.
Right.
And at that point, Lord knows where she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even we even there's even cases where they do it with even children, where
Right.
It's just these cases that take place. So, who do you think has the answers to the questions? Would you feel comfortable saying that?
I mean, I think the boyfriend might know something. Casey, I'd love to talk to him for real.
Mhm.
No, I bet.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna, leave that to the detectives, and hopefully they can, come up with something. I've reached out to, I made a submission on the FBI's Human Trafficking Task Force website. So hopefully someone will reach out and we can see if we can get that going. I mean, at this point, I just don't know what to think anymore or what to do,
Right.
It's just the waiting game at this point that gets very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Right. Because, I don't know. It seems to me like Casey has a really good idea of where she's at. And fingers crossed, prayers, and everything, and all the support from us.
Thank you.
It's I just hope that something happens, whether she shows up or Casey's in trouble and he has no way but to answer some questions as to what's going on. It just doesn't make any sense. And then, to just disappear like that, and like you said, that's such a dangerous neighborhood.
Mhm.
And the things that take place, and we hear about kidnappings all the time.
Yep.
And it's just so sad. Those messages really make me they're just very disturbing messages.
They put you
And
on alert.
yeah,
Very much so on alert.
yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the information when it comes to the phone numbers, the websites. If there's anything you'd like me to add in the future, reach out to me, please. I'm definitely going to keep reaching out to you.
Okay.
Is it cool if anybody has any questions, if they can ask?
Oh, yeah.
And also, if there's any content creators out there, that would like to spread this word as well, they can either reach out to me, or if you want, I can supply contact information for you. So that way it's just more
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
talking about it and more people getting the word out there. I think it would be really awesome because, it's so unfortunate with the lack of footage.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially being a hotel, you would know that there would be at least a camera at the checkout desk where the enter and exit is. Maybe not at the side doors, on the side of the building or something, but at least coming in and out.
Right.
Well, and you would think that they would keep that footage for
Longer than 5 to 7 days.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
But, at least they maybe even kept it for 5 to 7 days.
Right.
It's just unfortunate. So the more people talking about this is what's really gonna help this case. So I just want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your afternoon and just sharing with us the story and Lauren and who she is and just what we can do to try and help. And so I just want to thank you so much for doing that. I know it's tough. And thank you for being comfortable enough to join the show and talk to us about it and allow us to even ask questions. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for having me on and sharing her story. And hopefully something comes from this, something good.
I'm glad I came across it because, my friend who reached out to you, she's who I saw it from, and I instantly jumped on it after CJ said he wanted to start doing these types of shows on Friday. And I'm like, hey, if you can get me any and all information, I said, if you could see if maybe, since it might not be so weird coming from a classmate of hers reaching out,
right?
If you could reach out to the sister.
Yeah.
And she came back with, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like anything that we could do to help.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
And
to get her story out there, get her face out there, get it known.
And seriously, any creators, if you're watching this on replay and you want to reach out, just let me know and I'll get you guys connected. And just as many people that can talk about it as possible would be the blessing when it comes to sharing this information and getting the word out there. As many people as possible. Thank you, Cassie, for being up here as well. I appreciate it. Is there anything that you would like to say? Michelle, is there a message that you would like to put out there?
Just, we miss you, Lauren, and we want you home. Please reach out. Let us know.
Please do.
Yes. Share this. Get the word out. I mean, I'm all the way over here on the West Coast, but I know a lot of content creators are closer to you guys. And if we could get this as a ripple effect, then maybe it'll help find her.
Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody will say, yeah, I seen her at the Burger King the other day or something, just
right.
something. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And really, I'm going to, even after the show's over, I'm still going to be out there doing research. I'm still going to try and get together with some of our collective and see what we can figure out. Because I want to see if we can help find where this person is located, and maybe we can connect you with that information or something. You never know. I'm still going to try and do things beyond the show, and so I just want to let you know that all of us here are going to do whatever we can until we can do something. We'll be trying no matter what. I just want to let you know that.
Thank
you. Lauren and you and your family mean everything, and I just, we're gonna try and do everything we can. I just really want you to know that. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, everybody in chat. Please share this like crazy. Share it to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, everything. But is there a hashtag you want us to associate with this? Is there a
I'm sure
hashtag you
there
want
are a few out there, but I don't do the hashtag thing.
Okay.
I'm sure there are
some.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll get something, and then let's get this thing out there. Let's get this. Let's get this out there and get it talked about more. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody on replay. Share. Please, please, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.